Now we get to talk about the dogs of the week, and we already have the first one on the board. So let's just get right into it and talk about my favorite baseball player in the league right now. He used to be a Boston Red Sox. He won the world title with us in 2018. He's the last Boston Red. He's the last player in Red Sox history to have 30 stolen bases in a season, and that was in 2018 when we won the World Series. Mookie Betts, as I said, my favorite player. I believe Mookie Betts is going to have another MVP like season, kind of, sort of. Well, not MVP like season, but like Golden Glove and stuff like that. I think he's going to have another successful season. Shout out to the Dodgers. The Dodgers have won 6 of their first 8 games this year, with 5+ runs in all 8 games, and it's pretty much been led by Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts has been playing pretty well this year. In 2024, he has a 611 batting average right now, 72% on base percentage. His slugging is in 1.389. He's hit 4 home runs so far, 10 RBIs, 9 runs, 7 walks, and 2 stolen bases. Mookie Betts is starting to catch fire already. And then you got to take into account who he has on this team. He has Shohei Ohtani. We already know what he's capable of, even though we know he has a legal situation that he's going to have to deal with because, you know, he trying to get that money that he gave up years ago back. Yeah. Then they just re-signed one of their stars to a 10-year, $140 million deal. The Dodgers have made a lot of moves this year to be able to put themselves in position to win the World Series this year. And for me, I think it all depends on how really good Shohei Ohtani plays and how good Mookie Betts plays. Mookie Betts plays pretty much everywhere on the diamond. You can put him at first base. You can put him at second. You can put him at shortstop. He's going to make plays no matter what. He's a really good defender, and we know that he's not your power hitter when it comes to being like a home run hitter. But he can hit some bombs. He's fast. He's going to steal some bases. He's going to do whatever it takes to help his team win the game. Now, we know the Dodgers came up short last year. We all know that they're pretty much the favorites to win it all this year because of all the moves they made in the offseason with Shohei Ohtani, signing Yamamoto, I believe with Tyler Glass now. They made a lot of moves this offseason, and Mookie Betts is like, well, this is my time to shine. He's balling so far, and in the very early baseball season, we know they play 162 games. It's only been 8, but so far, so good. So I had to talk about him. I have another baseball player I'll talk about in my honorable mention, but right now I had to give his just due for right now for Mookie Betts for how good he's played this early in the season. Tony.
Yeah, he's the one player that I've always, out of all the players that we've lost, we lost Bogarts, we lost, we lost some good players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Players, all right. He's the one player that I've always hated that they got rid of, that they let go, and they didn't just get rid of him; they traded him. And I was like, whoa, whoa, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing here, right? Um, yeah, he's always going to have this type. He's one of the most disciplined hitters. He's one of the most disciplined fielders that's out there. He's a complete player. So he's always making the right moves, or he's making the right moves. I'm going to correct you a little bit. He's hitting 500 right now. So he's hitting 500. He's exactly. I think it's like 15 to 30. I think is what he's hitting. Right? He's at right now 30 at bats, 15 hits. I think it is. So he's hitting 500, which doesn't surprise me. Doesn't really surprise me about him. Um, the one thing that helps him out a lot is who he has hitting around him. Also, that lineup is pretty tough. So the fact that he has that around him, kind of like what he had in Boston for a while, um, when you have that around you, it actually helps out a lot. Who are you going to pitch to? For some odd reason, I don't know why. I have no clue why they've done it this year, but they decided to pitch to him. But I mean, he's really, I think he's had 38. Yeah. So he's had 38 at bats, really, right? Because he also has 8 walks. So, you know, and then he's young. Most people don't realize how young he is. He's actually a young player too. He's only 31 years old.
Exactly.
So,
That's young in baseball. Old in football, but young in baseball.
so you know, uh, I like to pick with him and call him by his real name. So Marcus is doing really well, and uh, he's doing really well, and he's. I expect him to have a monster season. He will be in the MVP talk before the year is over with. So, um, shout out to him. And I've always liked him as a player. I always like someone who plays hard every single pause. He plays hard every single night, and you know, uh, just a great player. That's all I got to say about him.
I agree. Definitely a great player. Definitely a great player. Like I said, my favorite player in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. He's doing well, man. I like, you don't expect. So when I saw you had him up there, I was like, why you got him up there? He's only doing what Mookie does. That's what Mookie does.
Hey,
And I
I
get
just
it, but no, I get it. I get it though. I get it though, because there's been times when he should have been MVP, even with the Dodgers and stuff, where he's been overlooked. To not get there, to not get there. I don't know where he finished last year in the MVP race, but he should have definitely been in that talk.
yep. Sure should have. Well, you're the first to be introduced to the new Dogs of the Week. So, welcome, Mookie. Glad to see you here. All right, this very, very